Have you ever felt like certain family members are just draining your peace? It's like every time they're around, you feel tense, stressed, or even exhausted. In old age, when peace of mind should be our biggest treasure, these people seem to bring nothing but negativity. But here's the truth that might surprise you. Not all family connections are good for us. In fact, some can be downright toxic. Now, I know what you're thinking. Family is family, right? We're supposed to love and support each other. But what if I told you that hanging on to certain family relationships can actually harm your well-being? At this stage in life, we don't need the drama, the stress, or the guilt that comes with certain types of people. We deserve peace, happiness, and supportive relationships that lift us up, not ones that drag us down. Today, I'm going to share the 4 types of family members you might want to avoid if you're aiming for a happier, more peaceful life. These are the people who can steal your energy, make you feel inadequate, or keep you trapped in a cycle of negativity. And trust me, it's not about holding grudges or being unkind. It's about protecting your own health and happiness. Each of these types has certain behaviors that slowly wear you down, and sometimes we don't even realize it's happening until it's too late. I'll be sharing real, actionable tips on how to handle these people without creating major conflicts, so you can set boundaries that actually work. Think about this as I go through each type. Do you have someone in your life who brings you down more often than they lift you up? Someone who seems to be more of a burden than a blessing? If yes, it might be time to take a step back and reclaim your peace. 1. The constantly negative or critical. You know that one family member who just can't seem to find anything positive in life. No matter what you say, no matter what's happening, they always find a way to bring it down. Maybe it's the sister who points out every little flaw, or the cousin who always reminds you of the worst-case scenario. This is the person who always has something negative to say about your choices, your appearance, even your happiness. Why is this so harmful, especially as we grow older? Well, constant negativity does more than just create a bad mood. Studies show that being around negative people actually increases stress levels and can even affect our physical health. Our minds and bodies are deeply connected, so when we're surrounded by constant criticism, it slowly chips away at our confidence, our peace, and even our energy. At this stage in life, every moment matters. We don't need people around us who drain our spirit. Imagine living in a beautiful, peaceful home, but every day someone comes in and leaves mud everywhere. That's what constant negativity feels like. It stains your peace. So, how do you handle this type of family member without causing a big fallout? Here are a few practical tips. Limit your time together. If you know that being around this person always leaves you feeling worse, try to limit how often you see them. This doesn't mean cutting them out completely. Just be intentional about how much time you spend around them. Shift the conversation. When they start with their usual criticism or negativity, try to steer the conversation towards something neutral or positive. Say something like, "Let's talk about something that makes us feel good," or "Tell me something nice that happened to you this week." Set boundaries. Gently. It can feel hard to speak up, especially with family, but sometimes we have to protect our own peace. You can say, "I'd rather not talk about that," or "I'm focusing on positive things right now." You don't have to explain or justify, just let them know where your line is. Remember, you're not responsible for changing this person. They may never stop being negative, but you can protect yourself from being pulled into their world. You have the right to protect your peace, to surround yourself with positivity, and to live the life you deserve. Now let's move to the next type of family member to watch out for. And this one is even trickier because they come off as innocent, but can drain you just as much. I'm talking about the overly dependent family member. 2. The overly dependent. Now let's talk about the family members who lean a little too much on you. This is the person who constantly needs help, support, or even money, yet rarely gives anything back. They might be an adult child who's still relying on you financially, a sibling who always has some kind of emergency, or even a relative who makes you feel like it's your duty to solve all their problems. On the surface, it might seem harmless or even a little flattering. Who doesn't want to feel needed? But when someone becomes overly dependent, it's no longer about family support. It becomes a one-sided relationship where you're constantly giving and they're constantly taking. Over time, this drains your energy, finances, and sometimes even your health. It can leave you feeling exhausted, stressed, and maybe even a bit resentful. In old age, this type of dependency can be especially harmful. This is the time in your life when you deserve to focus on yourself, on the things that make you happy. You've spent years taking care of others, and now it's your turn to enjoy the peace you've earned. But an overly dependent family member can pull you away from that peace, keeping you trapped in a cycle of responsibility that should no longer fall on your shoulders. So, how can you handle this without feeling guilty or causing family drama? Here are some strategies. Set clear boundaries around support. Be upfront about what you're willing and able to help with. For example, you could say, "I can help with this, but I can't be your constant support." Make it clear that while you care about them, you have limits too. Encourage independence. Sometimes overly dependent family members don't realize they're capable of handling things on their own. Encourage them to seek other resources or solutions. For instance, if they're constantly asking for financial help, you might suggest they speak to a financial counselor or look for part-time work. Use I statements to communicate. When explaining your boundaries, focus on your own needs rather than pointing fingers. For example, say, "I need some time to focus on my own health and happiness," rather than, "You're too dependent on me." This way, they're less likely to feel attacked. Limit emotional involvement. One of the toughest parts is the emotional pull. You might feel guilty or worried about saying no. Remind yourself that it's okay to prioritize your own well-being. You're not abandoning them. You're just protecting yourself from becoming overly drained. Remember, there's a difference between helping and enabling. By setting limits, you're not only helping yourself, but also giving them a chance to grow and become more self-sufficient. And it's okay to feel a little guilty at first. That's natural. But over time, you'll see that creating these boundaries allows both of you to have healthier, happier lives. All right, let's move on to the third type of family member that can disrupt your peace. And this one loves to stir up trouble without ever taking responsibility. I'm talking about the drama makers. 3. The drama makers. Now let's dive into a type of family member who can be a constant source of stress. The drama maker. You know the type. This is the person who always seems to have a new conflict, complaint, or crisis. They thrive on stirring up trouble, whether it's gossiping about other family members, dragging you into arguments, or creating issues out of thin air. It feels like they're always one step away from the next big drama. At first, it might seem like they just need a listening ear, but soon enough, you'll find yourself caught up in their whirlwind of problems and conflicts. And the worst part, drama makers rarely take responsibility for the chaos they create. They'll pull you into their mess, leave you feeling emotionally drained, and then walk away, often acting as if nothing ever happened. Drama like this can be exhausting at any stage in life, but in old age, it's especially damaging. The constant stress and emotional ups and downs can take a toll on your health, affecting your blood pressure, sleep, and overall peace of mind. You didn't come this far in life to let someone else's problems steal your calm. So how do you protect yourself from the endless roller coaster of their drama without getting dragged into arguments? Here are some strategies. Stay neutral. When they try to involve you in a conflict or gossip about other family members, don't take sides. Respond with something neutral like, "I'd rather stay out of this," or "I'm not interested in discussing that." By refusing to engage, you're sending a clear message that you won't be pulled into their drama. Set boundaries around gossip. Drama makers love to talk about other people's issues, but you don't have to participate. When they start, gently steer the conversation elsewhere. Say, "I'd prefer to talk about something positive," or "I don't think it's fair to discuss them like this." Over time, they'll get the message that you're not a willing participant in gossip. Limit your availability. Drama makers tend to latch onto those who give them attention, so if you find yourself constantly on the receiving end of their complaints, try to limit your availability. You don't have to answer every call or attend every gathering. Politely excuse yourself when you sense things are turning toward drama. Keep conversations short and focused. When you do interact, keep the conversation short and steer it toward positive or neutral topics. Avoid giving them space to start venting or dragging you into gossip. If they try to pull you back in, give brief, neutral responses and gently change the subject. One of the most powerful things you can do is simply not engage. Drama needs an audience, and if you refuse to play along, the drama maker will eventually realize they can't use you as a sounding board for their issues. Remember, it's okay to prioritize your own peace. Protecting your mental and emotional well-being is not selfish. It's essential. Now, let's move on to the fourth type of family member you might need to be cautious around. This one can be the hardest to recognize because they're skilled at hiding their true intentions. I'm talking about manipulators and narcissists, the ones who know how to play with your emotions to get what they want. The manipulators and narcissists. Now we're getting into one of the most challenging types of family members to deal with, the manipulators and narcissists. These are the people who know exactly how to push your buttons, how to make you feel guilty, and how to get what they want by playing with your emotions. They're the masters of manipulation, and they often disguise it so well that you might not even realize you're being played. These family members might act like they care deeply, but the truth is they're usually focused on their own needs and desires. They're quick to make you feel guilty if you say no or stand up for yourself. Maybe they use phrases like, "I thought family was supposed to support each other," or "After all I've done for you." Sound familiar? They know how to twist situations so that you end up feeling like the bad guy, even when you're simply trying to set a healthy boundary. Dealing with manipulators and narcissists can be especially harmful in old age because they drain your mental and emotional resources. They create stress, self-doubt, and can even isolate you from other family members by making you feel like no one else understands or appreciates you. This kind of emotional toll is the last thing you need when your focus should be on peace and happiness. So, how can you protect yourself from manipulators and narcissists without getting sucked into their games? Here are some powerful strategies. Recognize their tactics. The first step in handling a manipulator is understanding their methods. Manipulators often use guilt, shame, or even charm to get their way. Recognize these tactics for what they are and remind yourself that you're not responsible for fulfilling their demands. Stand firm on your boundaries. Manipulators will test your boundaries to see if they can break them. Once you've set a limit, whether it's financial help, time, or emotional support, stand firm. You don't owe them an explanation. Simply say, "I can't do that," or "I'm not comfortable with this." Repeat if necessary, without feeling the need to justify your choices. Don't engage with emotional blackmail. Narcissists and manipulators thrive on creating guilt and dependency. When they try to use phrases like, after all I've done for you, or you're the only one I can count on, don't fall for it. Recognize it as emotional blackmail and calmly respond with, I understand how you feel, but I have to take care of myself too. Limit personal sharing. The less they know about your personal life and emotions, the less they can use against you. Keep conversations on neutral topics and avoid sharing sensitive details about your feelings, health, or finances. Manipulators often use personal information as leverage, so by keeping things light, you limit their power. Seek support from others. Dealing with a manipulative family member can be isolating, but you don't have to face it alone. Talk to trusted friends or other family members who understand the situation. Sometimes just knowing you have support can make it easier to hold your ground and resist manipulation. Remember, manipulators and narcissists feed off control, but you have the power to say no without guilt. Setting boundaries isn't just about protecting yourself from their demands, it's about preserving your peace of mind. You deserve relationships that respect your needs and well-being, not ones that manipulate you into serving others at the expense of your own happiness. As we wrap up, I want to emphasize that this isn't about cutting off family members or creating conflict. It's about prioritizing your peace, protecting your mental and emotional health, and surrounding yourself with relationships that nourish rather than drain you. Old age is meant to be a time of joy, reflection, and inner peace, not a time to carry the weight of others' demands and negativity. As we've discussed today, maintaining peace in old age often means making some tough choices about the people you keep close. Family is important, but not all relationships are healthy. Sometimes we have to distance ourselves from those who bring stress, negativity, or manipulation into our lives, even if they're family. This isn't easy, and it might feel uncomfortable at first. But remember, your peace and happiness come first. You've worked hard, lived through so much, and you deserve to enjoy these years without unnecessary burdens. Let's quickly recap the 4 types of family members you might want to avoid for a healthier, happier life. The constantly negative or critical. These individuals bring down your spirit and create unnecessary stress. The overly dependent. Those who rely on you too much, draining your energy and resources. The drama makers, people who thrive on conflict and draw you into their issues, stealing your peace. The manipulators and narcissists, those who use guilt and emotional blackmail to control you for their own benefit. Each of these types can be challenging to handle, but with clear boundaries and a focus on your own needs, you can protect yourself and find the peace you deserve. Remember, creating distance isn't about cutting off love. It's about creating space for joy and fulfillment. Boundaries are a way of saying, I care about myself enough to put my peace first. Now, I'd love to hear from you. Do any of these family types sound familiar? Have you had to set boundaries to protect your peace? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Your experiences might help others facing similar situations. If you found today's video helpful, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing. I'll be sharing more tips on finding peace, building healthy relationships, and creating a joyful life in old age. And remember, life is too precious to let anyone steal your happiness. Take care of yourself, keep your peace close, and I'll see you in the next video. This closing ties everything together, encourages audience engagement, and prompts them to subscribe for more content. It leaves viewers with a positive, empowering message while reinforcing the importance of prioritizing their peace.